Hey, and welcome back. I'm Thomas Boucher, and in this video we're going to take a look at making a small flatter for the hydraulic press. So for my padlock book, I'm also selling optional keyhole covers, which I'm forging in this die, and I'm just squeezing them out in the hydraulic press. And the way that I'm doing it now is kind of taking me a few heats, and I'd like to see if I can make the process a little bit better. So with this, what I was doing was just putting my material in there, and I found that I needed something on top of it to help push down. And I had been just using a piece of mild steel, and because it's mild steel, it was real soft and it kept deforming, and real quickly it wasn't being as effective as it had been when I first put the piece under there. So I've decided to make a small flatter that I can use under the hydraulic press to help centralize the pressure on my piece of material I'm forging into the die, and hopefully that flatter won't deform like the mild steel was. So I'm going to use a piece of 4140, and I'm going to squeeze it under the treadle hammer with a top swage to help give it a rounded top, sort of like people would make tools for a power hammer. I've never made any before, and I assume that the process I'm going to use will work. It's just a matter of trying it out and seeing how it goes. So now that I have this flatter roughly forged, I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning it up. I'm going to grind the faces to the shape I want them to be and take off this swelled up part. The swage was sitting here, so this part didn't really get forged properly, or like the rest of it, so I'm going to cut that part off, and I'll probably put a handle on this side. So now that I've got the sides all pretty much ground to where I want them, I cut off that big lump on the side. Now what I need to do is figure out getting a handle on here. I think what I'm going to try to do is drill a hole, stick the handle in there, and then kind of chase some of the material back over to hold it in, and then I'll weld it. So I just cut a piece of material, and I'm going to wrap an eye on the back side here, just so I can hang the tool up when I'm not using it, and I guess it'll maybe give me somewhat of a little handle. I don't need much, but just something to kind of rest in the palm of my hand. So now what I need to do is drill the end of my flatter tool and get those two things fit together. So I just filed around the handle just a little bit to create sort of a tenon, and then I chased the material around with a center punch to kind of drive that material in. So these are now, joined together. Not well, but enough. And then what I'm going to do now is weld these together. My handle's a little crooked, but I think after I weld it I can straighten that out. I think I'm going to call it a night. Tomorrow I'll heat treat this. I'm not the best at TIG welding, but I'll take an opportunity to practice a little bit. It's not the cleanest weld, but it's welded. So there's my tool as of right now. So now that I have the fire going, I'm going to heat up the tool so that I can harden it and then heat treat it. So I want to make sure this heats up pretty even. And I want to get it up to non-magnetic, so when the magnet no longer sticks to it, then I can go ahead and quench it in the oil. That seems decently hard. So the next thing is going to be for me to temper this. So I need to draw the hardness back on it so that it doesn't shatter when I put the pressure on it under the hydraulic press. I'm going to try something I haven't done before. I'm going to try heating up this tube and tempering it inside the tube, sort of like a tiny makeshift oven. I'm not like a knife maker, so I don't have fancy heat treating ovens or anything. But first I need to shine up the bottom so I can kind of check what the colors are going to be at. It's already starting to run a little bit. The front portion is getting a little bit warmer than the rest of it, so that's why I quenched it off, and I'm hanging it out the opposite side of the pipe. I know you can't really see it, but... So right now I got a piece heating up in the forge so I can give this thing a test run under the press, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully the tool doesn't shatter. So that's going to do it for this one. I'll put a link in the description below as to where you can find my book on how to make a basic handmade padlock. You can also pick up one of these keyhole covers to go along with it. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, as it really helps me out. It'll keep you up to date on other projects I have going on, like this one, as well as the crab lock that I'm working on and my shop build. So thanks again for watching. Bye.